Hello everyone, so I'm back again with a slightly more detailed look at my two pistol crossbows than last time. Some of you might get some ideas what to do with your new one. In the past I've had the old style Cobra metal one, which I've done something very similar to, but I have to say when I got these it's immediately evident straight out of the box that these are on another level when it comes to build quality. There's nothing rattling for a start, and they just feel very solid in your hand even though they're mostly made of plastic. As you can see, they're slightly different beasts. The one at the front is the Horizon Redback, which I've set up with a crossbow scope on it, 4 times magnification, with a red and green illuminated reticle. This one appears to be happiest shooting from about 10 to 30 yards, something like that, and it's very accurate at those distances. The other one is the new Rmx Tomcat 2, and as you can see I've just put a simple red dot, red and green illuminated sight on that one, and that's good for anything really between about 5 and 15 yards, I would say. So essentially they're the same item. Rmx slightly modified the rear end. As you can see, it's more like a pistol grip with a thumb through, whereas this one is just a straight drop down pistol grip. Talking of grips, by the way, the grip, the angled grip that comes with this one, Horizon, I just did not get on with. It seems a funny idea to me to have it at that strange angle. Whereas, however, the one that came as standard with the Tomcat is, well, it's perfect. It's so ergonomic, it's the right length. In fact, I was so impressed with it, I actually contacted Rmx directly and asked them if they'd sell me another one to put on this one. And they did, and it cost me, I think it was about 13 quid with postage. It just transforms the way that it shoots, basically. So, given that they're both an identical crossbow but set up differently, we'll just concentrate on one, I think. So I'll move this one out of the way, and then I'll give you a quick rundown of what I've actually done. Okay, so here we have the Rmx Tomcat 2. And if we start at the front end, you'll notice some funny, where are we? This is difficult to do. Some funny rubber things on there. Turn it around a bit so you can see. There we go. These. They are made by a company called Bowjacks. I got them off of eBay. They're not particularly cheap, but they're a vibration damping system, and I've simply slid them on to the limbs, one on each side, before stringing the prod. And then once I've strung the prod, I've put the string versions on the strings. And basically what that does is, if you imagine one of those old plastic school rulers that you hold up against the edge of a table and twang the end of it, they're very twangy, aren't they, basically, and the closer you bring that into the edge of the desk, so you've got a shorter bit of ruler sticking out, and try and twang it again, sometimes it barely moves, and that's the effect that this has on the whole system when it comes to damping any vibration. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, so I've got those on. I've also got mounted On the accessory rail underneath is a torch, very powerful, which also has, oh, it's rechargeable by the way, also has a strobe feature, which is quite a fast flash on the strobe. Because this one is set up for close quarters combat, if you like, the strobe is a good feature to have, because any assailant, if you were using it in that sort of situation, would be enough to not blind them, but certainly make it difficult for them to do what they were doing if you were in a darkened place. So the strobe feature is very good. Underneath that, you might notice, is a sling swivel. So the mount that's holding the torch onto the accessory rail, I don't know if you can see that, underneath it, also attached to the mount, is a tiny little accessory rail. So all I've done is, again, off of eBay, got, let's turn it around a little bit, got this, and that's a bolt-on, don't know what you'd call it really, sling swivel adapter, but it's not a sling swivel, it's just a sling adapter, and that bolts directly on to the accessory rail, like so, and then you can attach a sling. This sling, by the way, is, they're both the same on the other one as well. These are Quake claw slings. Because I do a lot of shooting, I always use these slings on my rifles, because they seem to offer superior grip when it's on your shoulder. Once you've put it on your shoulder in a certain place, they do not move. So you don't have to worry about the rifle slipping round. Well, it's exactly the same on the crossbow, so that's why I've put them on here. Plus it looks good, of course. So that's that. At the back here, on this particular one, again, because of my shooting background, I know it's important. Consistency, shot to shot, means accuracy. So as a result of that, I've just glued it on, a tiny little spirit level, which means that when I bring it up to my shoulder and look through the scope, I can also see the bubble on the level, and providing I keep that in the middle all the time, I know that from shot to shot I'm not twisting the crossbow in either direction, and that seems to help with accuracy as well. And then if we move to the back of the crossbow, this is probably the biggest glaring difference between what comes out of the box and what I've done. This is the new stock that I've put on there, and you'll be able to see also that I've done exactly the same sort of thing to the other one, although be it slightly differently, because as I said at the beginning, the Rmx Tomcat 2 has this feature. I didn't want to get rid of that, because that's obviously offering some strength overall to the cocking lever, for want of a better word. So I had to think around that. But in my next video, I'll show you how to adapt yours, if you like, to take a stock like this, which I have to say makes such a difference when it comes to shooting. You can put whatever length on there you want, depending on how long your arms are, so you can hold it properly at your shoulder for much more stability. It gives you also a proper cheek piece, so that you can look through the scope and get proper eye relief, etc., and just basically get a much more accurate shot. So that's a more in-depth look for you. Hope you've enjoyed this. Hope it's made sense. And next time I come back, I will show you and talk you through how I went about making these different stocks. And that's it. See you next time.